Welcome, you guys. This is so exciting. This is our first episode of the Pickles and Bacon Show. Let me introduce myself. I am Pickles, and across from me is my brother...
Bacon.
Or, wait a second.
Also known as, the other met Hatter G. Rivers, also known as Prince Pickle.
And this is our brand new show called the Pickles and Bacon Show. And we just, don't worry, we're still D2. We're not changing anything. We're just trying to, streamline because we really want to quit our job and make money off YouTube and podcasting. I'm just saying, I don't know what my brother wants to do over here, but I know what I want to do.
She's speaking on behalf of the both of us.
Anyway, so, we have a great show for you lined up today. There's some things that I made some notes about.
Again, we are not a scripted show, but we do make notes on things that we want to talk about. So go ahead, Harley.
So there's been some stuff in the news. You know how much that I hate the Duggar family because they just get on my last nerve. So some of my notes and my sources are from the.
Is that what I saw you researching earlier?
Yeah, they're from the Crazy Days and Nights website because this guy are you looking at me? He's supposedly an entertainment lawyer, so in case you don't know, I'm making the resting bitch face over here.
Like I'm an expert on Bigfoot.
Oh yeah, we're about to talk about Bigfoot, you guys. Okay, so let me give you some backstory.
We'll go into this first, then we'll go into that later.
On September 17th, he posted some stuff like a blind item, and he goes into detail or whatever. So, I'm just going to read you some of the highlights from these notes that I took.
Yeah, we're going to skip the boring stuff and get right into the good stuff.
Okay, so he says it like this, and I quote, he claims he's always had a favorite in this family of reality stars. We'll get to the favorite in a minute. But it says that he guesses he'll need to find a new one now because, honestly, probably not. It's not a family you want to get involved with. I'm going to need more details, NT, if you can call me later. So he goes on to say, over the years, he's highlighted some of their memorable scams and sins. Interesting. Also going to have to look that up, too. But then he says this year they're taking it to a whole new level of their latest scam. Of course, nothing he mentions will ever outweigh the covering up of horrible things done to some of their kids, but that's just about one of the biggest scams, and his favorite was involved. So, here's the story. It says, somehow the favorite managed to include the person who was supposedly exiled and banned from shunned moving away, but never actually did, and is with the favorite 24/7 as if they were together or something. Anyways, although they were involved and complicit in helping the scam by soliciting money, oh, yes, money, they didn't want anything useful or any supplies. They only want cash and cards to convert to cash. If you do give them supplies or anything useful, they sell it on the black market rather than distributing it. Oh, but wait! There's more! So it says the ringleader of the members is one of the members of the reality family. He brought along members from a similar family, and they're all pretending to be law enforcement and carrying badges in a country that has been devastated.
Hold on, let me stop you right there. Isn't that against the law to be doing that?
Oh, but wait, let me tell you what they're doing. They're taking relief packages from overseas and saying that they've been given contracts to control every bit of cargo. Well, here's a newsflash. They haven't. Okay, so here's what they're doing. They're stealing the fuel and then billing the NGOs for the fuel. It's a scam on a massive level and pales in comparison to one the other two members of the family pulled while they were out of the country. Okay, so what they're talking about is that they're taking money from the Hurricane Dorian Medical Evacuation Disaster Intervention Corps or MedCorps. First of all, how fucking dare you? Second of all, is these people not checking what they're doing? Like, I mean, I can't even fucking scratch my ass at the Social Security office and sniff it without a fucking officer coming over and asking me what the hell I'm freaking doing.
Well, let alone carry a backpack into that place, because they'll be all up on your ass.
Dude, I have to take all of my bar stuff and my nail clippers out of my freaking bag before I can even get in. They'll be like, go put it in your car, and I'll be like, fuck no. I'm like, just deal with it, because apparently a little inch blade's gonna kill someone. I'm just saying, like, please, show me where the vault is.
What?
Anyway, so, but, Okay, now we're off that subject. So, Deke and I, this week, we took Buddy Cash to the movies to see Bad Boys for Life, and Buddy and Deke got a poster and everything. They were all so excited. I was like, oh my god, I'm so excited for you. Did you like the movie?
I love the movie. You know I love Bad Boys.
I know, it was so funny. And it was so good.
Bad Boys for Life.
It was so funny and so good. And my son was quoting it in the car after they had gotten out of the after they got out of the movie theater together. So it was really good. The next 4 months, I think, are going to be booked as far as movies for us. Birds of Prey comes out on the 7th.
March, because I think mid-March I'm going to have my surgery, so hopefully I'll be able to see the Mulan movie. Don't know yet.
You should be out you should way be out by March 27th. But the next movie after this is going to be Birds of Prey that we're definitely seeing. I'm going to order the tickets this week. And then after that is Mulan. And then there was something I saw that came out in April. I can't remember what the trailer was. There was a trailer to a movie that we just... I don't think it wasn't Morbius, but there was a trailer that we saw on the... at this movie, and I can't remember what it was.
Nor can I, but I know that there is one coming out in April.
But anyway, so I think we're booked pretty solid. Actually, I'm noticing that there's going to be a lot more better selection of movies coming out this year. Mm-hmm. I mean, and then I think May's also Black Widow. I gotta tell you though, I'm kind of not interested in Black Widow. I mean, I'm curious to see how they do it, and of course, Tony Stark and everything like that. But as far as her being my favorite character from the Avengers,
I can't think, and I'm sorry to say this because I like Scarlett Johansson. I think she was the lamest one.
I kind of feel also too that depending on when the timeline of when Morbius is coming out, I have a feeling they're going to debut him or at least show up or mention him in this movie, and then in Black Widow, and then he gets his own film, and then he'll be seen as the Spider-Man villain for sure. Yeah. Because I think that's where they're going to go with this, but who knows? Anyways, segue into other things. Do you see everyone's making fun of Wendy Williams for making fun of Joaquin Phoenix for the cleft palate thing?
No, at this point, I just stopped listening to Wendy Williams. She's a bitch anyway, so... Well,
I know that she's a bitch, and...
But, let me clarify that. I mean that. I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean that in a good way. I mean, she spreads gossip, and she's kind of a bitch, but yeah.
No, you're right, and I'm not even, trying to dispute that. And I'm not even mad at her for making fun of Joaquin, because sometimes I actually think Joaquin Phoenix is sort of a little bitch and a little punk, but I really like the Joker, and to be honest with you, it's looking kind of 50-50 whether or not he's going to win the Oscar. They were talking about him. It's between him and that other guy.
Taron Egerton, who's going to...
Is he even nominated?
Yeah, for the
I have to double check, but I think they were mentioning somebody else that they thought was going to win over Joaquin. I was like, yeah, I think that ship has sailed, and I really think that Joaquin had his best moment as Johnny Cash in Walk the Line. And that's just me. I've been saying it for years. I still hold grudges. I mean, I'll be angry about that for the Academy Award for Life. So when it's our turn and we get to go, you think I'm going to be over there like, oh yeah, and be like, you still owe Joaquin for that time, okay? I'm just saying.
And they gave it to Philip Seymour Hoffman, which, by the way, I saw Capote. It sucked.
I know. I never even liked that movie. I don't even like Truman Capote. I just don't think it was a film that was Oscar-worthy. But anyways, so
let's get into this whole Bigfoot thing. I was telling Harley that there was this movie, and I think it was Hulu, called Bigfoot Girl. Now, here's the thing, okay, is that these guys in the movie were talking out their ass completely.
Okay, my first thing... Wait, okay, before you get there, let me just start by the first character that we meet. We meet the girl, Kiana, whatever, and she comes out, and she's got this, black, shirt, hoodie thing that goes over her head, like, okay, that's so, like, $19.99. But then she starts talking to James Tyson, and I'm sitting there listening to this dude talk, and at first he says, that he was at this, like, big, like, Bigfoot convention, and, like, I forgot where he said it was, and he was there with psychics, and I don't know what else. And then a little while later in the conversation, he says that he's a skeptic and he doesn't believe in psychics. And I'm just like, I'm sorry, did you just not say 2 minutes earlier that you were just hanging out with psychics and mediums, and now you're saying you're a skeptic? I mean, okay. And then I just after he said that, I was just sitting there, like, watching with side eye, like, the rest of the movie, like, are you fucking kidding me right now?
That ain't even the part that behooved me. What behooved me was, toward the end of the movie, and Harley knows what I'm talking about, because she's seen this. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's on Hulu. This guy's completely talking at his ass, being like, there's no way you can make those tracks. Now, look, I was discussing this with Harley before she jumps in here. Let me say this. I know 2 physical ways you can make those tracks. Number 1, I'm going to tell you a show that I need you all to go check out, called The Andy Griffith Show. Mm-hmm. I think it's season 4 or it's it's late season 3. Andy catches this old man who's stealing these cows, and he finds out that the way he's stealing these cows is he's putting shoes on the cow and making footprints. That's one way you could do it. Another way you could do it, and this is just me because I saw this in a movie, there's a movie from the Beatles entitled Help. In said movie, there's a man who's hanging out of a blimp with these little feet running that you could also use to make
exactly, and they're these, like, huge. That's the first thing that I thought of when Deke was telling me about that. I was like, hey, remember that Beatles movie where the guy's hanging out of the blimp and he's making those footprints with those, like, prop feet or whatever? I was like, I'm pretty sure I can go to the Halloween store or Halloween rental place, and I'm pretty sure I can find some feet. I can make some, and they weren't even, like, footprints. It looked like it was, okay, you know what it looked like to me? You know how when you get to, like, when it rains or whatever, and you have, like, mudslides or whatever?
Exactly.
And sometimes there's, like, the ground is, like, uneven and the dirt's uneven. It looks like it's just a mud hole from that. I was like, that's supposed to be a footprint? I was like, no, there's no way. These guys are on there. It was like this Native American dude, and he was like talking out his ass, and then there was that. And then there was this, like, white couple. You know what I said this was? Okay, I haven't said this to Deke, but Deke and I always talk about this, and I said, look, I was like, why don't these people see this Bigfoot during the day? Like, I don't understand it. Like, if you're like, oh, we're in Bigfoot country or whatever, like, if I could see a fucking deer at, like, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, then I want to see Bigfoot at 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Okay, but here's the thing with that, though, Harley, is people could argue the fact that he's nocturnal. However, I've seen owls that are nocturnal that are out in the day.
Exactly. Okay, but here's what I think. These are just a few things that I've been thinking about, and that I've told Deke that I think they are. I think that, you know, let's just say, for the sake of argument, these people are seeing something, which I highly doubt. Okay, but what they're seeing is imprintations of, like, Native Americans that passed away in battle, or some of the most gruesome battles in history. I was like, and they're showing up in, like, their warrior costumes or whatever, because we weren't there, we don't know, and to us it's looking like monsters and they're trying to scare us away, and it's actually spirits of the Native Americans that died before us. You know, I'm just saying. Or it could be a secret government organization and things like that trying to chase people out of the area, and they're dressed in their ghillie suits. And then my last theory is this, and this part is going to sound fucked up, but I'm just going to say it because I don't trust people and their motives anyways. So, when you get high, like, on these drugs, like meth and crystal meth and speed or whatever, I've heard so many stories about people seeing monsters or, like, things like that. I'm like, there's this one story that, I read in the internet about 3 or 4 years ago. I can't even remember. I couldn't even find it when I was looking it up. It was about this couple that died of hypothermia on the highway because apparently they were fucking stoned out of their mind on like meth or whatever it was, and they were trying to call for help, and they kept saying that they were seeing Mexicans or they were seeing like brown people or whatever, and they couldn't figure out where they were, and they were like, oh, don't you see, and it turned out they were like in some kind of pasture or something. What they were seeing were like cows, but they kept saying it was like they looked like I don't know what, and I was like, I don't feel bad for you if that's what you're seeing, because you know what you did. And can I just say something else? Like, look, I know I'm no looker, okay? I'm no fucking beauty queen. I'm not gonna win no beauty pageants. But here's something else. When everybody in this documentary looks like a goddamn crackhead, how the fuck am I supposed to take you serious?
Well, it's just like, okay, it's just like Joe Rogan saying something on his podcast, because, you know, he had Dan Aykroyd on the show, right?
Yeah.
And they're talking about extraterrestrials, which I'm not going to go into. That's a totally different subject.
Yeah.
That's fine, leaving that right where it's at.
Yeah.
But, okay, Joe Rogan made a very valid point where he was saying, how come it's always the rednecks or friggin' hillbillies that are getting abducted, and it's never like regular people?
Exactly. And then I also question people's motives, because I feel like, oh, everyone thinks they're gonna make a quick buck or whatever, and then when they don't, they start freaking out and like, oh, you know, we should have made money off that or whatever. So I always question people's motives about stories like that, like unless they can actually be verified or whatever. Now, I know what you're gonna say. You're probably gonna be like, oh, but Dan Aykroyd. But see, Dan Aykroyd is an actor, okay? He has money. He's had his prime of life or whatever, you know, and he's about to make another comeback right now because the Ghostbusters is coming out again.
And Blues Brothers 3.
But, so, for them to discredit him and say, oh, he's just talking out his ass, like, no, I don't believe that, because he doesn't seem the type to me that would make shit up just to get attention. Okay, I'm just saying.
Anyway, and then with that being said, you know, I had to address that. And then, like, I talk about this to Harley on a random basis, and it just burns me up, the stuff that I see. You know, I'm not trying to curse.
There's so many. There's
just so much bullshit out there that I'm like, how are people susceptible to this?
Yeah, like, I don't understand. Like, there's so many stories. Deke played me Chris Jericho's podcast. I've mentioned this story before, and he played me one of the stories from this guy who was like a Bigfoot hunter or whatever, and he was talking to Chris Jericho. And one of the first things that he said to Chris Jericho, who asked him, why didn't he
fall? And by the way, let me just throw this out there. Chris Jericho's a smart man, and for him to fall for this was beyond me.
Yeah, I think Chris Jericho said, well, why don't you call the police? And the guy was like, oh, well, I was in the middle of nowhere and got no signal. I legit made Deke pause the thing. I said, he's lying. And Deke goes, what do you mean he's lying? How can you tell? And I said, because I don't care where you are in the world. I said, the minute you punch in 911 and the send button, your phone goes into emergency mode. Whether or not you have a signal, when it's in emergency mode, it will always call 911 and the police, and you can tell them where you are and what you're doing.
Credit John Walsh. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I learned that from John Walsh on America's Got Talent. America's Most Wanted.
Red person, wrong show.
I'm watching the wrong show, you guys. I'm gonna let Deke talk now.
Red person, wrong show.
No, so Deke, how was wrestling this week?
Same old storylines, you know. Not really much going on other than the fact that we got Royal Rumble coming up, and pretty much, yeah, that's it.
And The Rock's father passed away. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
In pieces.
Yeah.
Any other news story that you want to talk about?
There was something I was going to talk about, but I forgot what it was.
Well, yeah. I still think that we need to do car talks and film us, because we have some badass stories that we talk about when we're driving in the car. He'll be like, oh, I was watching this video about so-and-so, and then he gets me all started, and I was like, no, that's a lie. That's a lie. That's a lie. That's a lie. But, anyways.
Yeah, so, anyway, you know, sometimes we're all over the place, and sometimes it's hard for us to keep up, but, you know, I gotta make sure that Harley doesn't kill anybody like she almost did yesterday.
That wasn't my fault. It was dark, and second of all, the post office can kiss my motherfucking ass. This post office, oh my god, this post office just feeling from the moment that I sent this package that the guy at the post office fucked everything up. He didn't even, like, when he handed me the receipt, he didn't even hand me the, like, top part of the thing where it has how they wrote it out. He just handed me the thing and was like, okay, there you go. And I was just like, he didn't even ask me my name or who I wanted to send it to or whatever. He was just like, okay, whatever, and I just kind of knew, and I was like, okay, so that's it, and he was like, yeah, that's it, and so here I go, and they're like, it's supposed to be delivered to Elgin, Illinois, January the 3rd, and I was like, okay, great, so, I guess something...
If you watch a YouTube video, you know why. Continue.
Okay, so, it gets to Elgin, and apparently the letter carrier is fucking stupid, and was like, well, there was no apartment number on it. Instead of going and leaving it in the goddamn office of the damn apartment, like a fucking normal letter carrier would have done. No, so I was like, okay, fine. So I got on the computer and I did a redelivery and I put the correct apartment number on there and I put my correct address and I got a confirmation that said, yes, it will be delivered on January the 4th, 2020. No, but that's not what happened. Instead, they processed a return to sender, and I was on the phone with their ass like, excuse me, I fucking asked for this to be redelivered, and it said it went through, and they were like, well, I don't know why it would go through, because, it was like, and I was like, it turns out that this was processed on the 5th, so they had the goddamn redelivery thing, and they just didn't want to fucking do it with their lazy ass. I'm on you, post office. You can suck my ballsack. I hope y'all fucking die. This is why y'all are on your goddamn way out, and nobody likes you. I will never, ever use the post office for any packages again. I should have sent it UPS. Don't worry, lesson learned. Don't worry, I'll take that to my motherfucking grave, and I hope to hell that when y'all are out of a goddamn cushy-ass job, you can look back at me and be like, damn, I shouldn't have fucked Harley over. Anyways.
Don't be laughing our heads off when you're burning in hell.
I'm just saying, I hope that one day, you know what I want? I was thinking about this, what I want from this channel and everything that we've been doing. I want brand deals. Do you think we'll ever get brand deals?
I hope so.
I hope we get brand deals, because, like, I want to be like, oh, there you go.
Well, here's the thing. Is the three main ones I pretty much want are Snickers, Pizza Hut, and WWE. Okay, and Doritos.
And Tampax. I don't want to spend $13 on it.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, even though I don't drink it anymore, Coke.
No, well, we don't drink Coke, but we could have, like...
Emily, if you're listening, stop listening.
We could have a Coke, like, somewhere in the video and just be, like, pretending to, like, pull it like this, and, like, pull it into the camera frame and then pull it out.
And Emily, if you're listening to this, I didn't say that, stop listening.
We're just doing the Lord's work, amen.
Hallelujah. Everybody say amen, amen.
We don't know how this got here, as I'm pulling the Coke out of the camera way. Like, you guys can't even see it. I'm pretending there's a camera watching me, but I'm moving salt and pepper shakers around, like, oh, make sure to get in the video, like, you can see it, right?
Yeah.
And I'm all like, oh, how did that get there? Like, oh, how